Hi, I'm Belinda Jensen, and this is my career in coats. As you might know, maybe not, I do the weather at KARE 11, and my office is the KARE 11 backyard. And for 33 years, I've been walking out the door into the weather. Every kind of weather. I mean, you have to be transparent when you do the weather outside in the weather. You better get it right. And if you don't, you better explain yourself and you better have a good coat. So here's one right here, and we'll talk more about some others, but this one is not that old, but it's kind of funny. I was married 31 years ago, something like that, to a gentleman named David. And we got married at Sundance, which is this beautiful resort in Utah. We met in Utah skiing, and we got married at Sundance. And this coat was bought at the Sundance store online. And when I saw it, I thought, oh, that's so great, because it just was kind of a mountainy coat. It reminded me of when we met in the mountains, and it reminded me of him and that time together. This, of course, is not real fur, because faux fur is kind of cool now, I guess. But it does come off, if you're wondering. So this is one of my favorite coats. And it's pretty warm, too. It's got that boiled wool, which I always like. And it's classic, because classics work. I mean, when you're going to buy a coat and you have a uniform that you have to wear for 6 months out of the year, you can't have hundreds and hundreds of coats. So you have to have classics. So speaking of classics, this is one of my oldest coats. It's about shin length, and it's raspberry. It's the brightest color. I will tell you that it's been through a lot, as you can see. And it's got a tweed to it, and it has been worn because it's one of my oldest coats, and it's one that folks always asked about. It has a cool collar, and of course it has this bright color, and it's warm, but it's more about the color and the collar, which is always nice. Okay, this is one of my favorite coats. This is this baby blue Cole Haan. I have gotten so many people asking about this coat. I will tell you that this was expensive. And so I had a friend who had a friend who had a friend who got me some sort of discount. And I bought it online, but I tried it on in the Cole Haan store at the Galleria. And I was really glad that it came in this baby blue because I think that looks good. I have blue eyes, and I love this coat. It's a really fun one. Speaking of blue, this one is, I like it. I'm a big navy blue person too, but the funny thing about this coat is it's got these big gold, bold, huge buttons, and that's why I like it. In fact, my friend Julie Nelson likes it too, so the funny thing is we both bought it unbeknownst to each other. She walks in, she has it. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm the coat person, but now you have my coat. So if I wear it, I have to tell her, because you copy, you call. And it turned out that she bought it right before I did. We've done that with a few things. So whoever bought it second, you copy, you call. That's something to think about, girls. And then when Mike Pomerantz was an anchor here, I wore this one day, and he's like, nice buttons. Because of course he was laughing because the buttons are so big. But I love that coat. I like gold and blue too. Here's another one that is funny. I bought this at Evereve, which is a great Minneapolis store. Minnesota started. It's now across the whole country. And I bought it, I remember, in the fall. And I wore it in the fall. And my former co-anchor, Randy Shaver, never says one darn thing about my coats. I mean, he just teases me if the weather's wrong or something. And he's a good friend, kind of. And I'm kidding. I loved Randy. But who I love more is Randy's wife. And Randy came back to work for the 10 o'clock after dinner break, and I'm wearing this coat. And he goes, Belinda, Roseanne wants that coat. Where'd you get that coat? So I said, well, you're lucky, because I just bought it at Evereve, and I know it's there. And so I do believe that this was wrapped under the tree at the Shaver home, and that Roseanne has it. So that's kind of fun. It's kind of cool because it has a button at the bottom, which is kind of unique. And it has gray and tan and cream, so it's kind of a nice plaid. And you kind of can't wear plaid on TV because it kind of gets dancy. It has to be a bigger plaid. So most of my coats are really, really classic colors. I cannot wear green because the chroma key is green and I would be invisible. So no green. I like Kelly green, but I just don't wear it. But the coolest thing about the coats is, of course, they stay warm. Of course, they're classics. Of course, I get them off sale racks because I need so many. I get them in the latter portion of the season. and I shove them all in one darn closet in my house, honestly. But I do organize them. Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow. Yeah, you got it. Rainbow. Because then if I'm in a hurry, which, by the way, fancy that, I'm always in a hurry, I can just grab the color that goes with whatever the heck I'm wearing and rush out the door, grab some gloves, maybe a hat if it's going to snow. So there's a bunch of coats. In fact, there's 37 of them. And now that I'm retiring from KARE 11 after 33 years and I don't need this uniform anymore, I decided that I am going to auction all of these off. And they're going to be on auction for a month on the ICA Food Shelf website. So all the money is going to go to the ICA Food Shelf, which is a charity that I feel very strongly about, getting people food that need food and helping them along the way and doing so many things for them. So if you've watched me in the KARE 11 backyard wearing any of these coats, they all have a story. They've all been used, gently used. And I made sure all the buttons work, I promise. My mom actually helped me with that. She sewed them all on. Oh, this one's a cool one too. I got that from the folks at Faribault Woolens, gave me that one. They're all in auction and all the money is gonna go to the food shelf. So check out the auction. It's open for a month from March 1st to March 31st. And then you can come by and grab them at the food shelf and I'll be there. We'll have snacks. It'll be fun. A lot of coats. Thanks for watching.